This is Mac OS Ken.
Apple's market value hits $3 trillion, sales guesstimates from a couple of analysts, and stories on Apple services. It is Tuesday, the 4th of January, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Headspace. Meditation made simple. Is there something in your life that always makes you angry or always makes you anxious? Whatever that thing is, it may be real, but for me, the real problem is the always part. My reaction to some stuff in my past is kind of habit, but it can be replaced with a better habit. Meditation with Headspace. Headspace is an app that lives on your phone or tablet. Once you download the Headspace app and use their meditation, mindfulness, and sleep exercises, just a few minutes a day can change your relationship with stress and anxiety. Sure, I still get stressed, and I get angry. But Headspace has given me the tools I need to deal with those emotions rather than letting them run away with me. Try it and see for yourself. Find some Headspace at headspace.com/macOSCan and get 1 month free of their entire meditation library. This is the best Headspace offer available, so go to headspace.com/macOSCan today. headspace.com/macOSCan. The first day of trading for 2022 was the day. While a piece from TechCrunch says there's a bit of quibbling, just about every financial and tech site seems to agree that Monday, the 3rd of January 2022, was the day that Apple became the first publicly traded company with a market value of $3 trillion. The quibbling, by the way, is between some who say Apple crested $3 trillion, while others say shares stalled at $2.99 trillion. Doesn't sound like a lot until one remembers, as TechCrunch pointed out, that the difference between those two amounts is $10 billion. Assuming the 3T number, TechCrunch puts it in context. Less than 5 years ago, May of 2017, Crunchbase pointed out that Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft together were approaching a combined market cap of $3 trillion. Now Apple is there by itself. CNET goes a bit more global in its contextualization, saying at $3 trillion, Apple's value is greater than the annual economic output of the UK, France, India, or Italy, according to data collected by the World Bank. Only Germany, Japan, China, and the US are larger. What changed? Well, probably more things than we can count, though the TechCrunch piece gives a lot of credit to COVID-19. The pandemic revalued tech companies, according to the report, giving them far more value per dollar of revenue than before. Mike Wordle at Apple Insider had an interesting editorial on the milestone. That came under the headline, Apple's $3 trillion valuation is the least interesting news about the company. If you'll pardon my 2 cents, he's not wrong when he says news of the $3 trillion in valuation is far less important and notable than what the company has in mind for the future and how it gets done. At the same time, the 3T is indicative of sentiment around Apple. It's indicative of investor belief in what the company has in mind for the future, which theoretically helps fund how it gets done. Still, props to him for his Jed Bartlett-esque what's next. What's next, by the way, are VR, AR, and Apple Car in his estimation. The way Wordle sees it, the $3 trillion valuation has no impact on what Apple plans on doing or on the roadmap that it set years ago. And now the punchline. Apple's current market valuation is not $3 trillion. No quibbling about it. While Apple made history on Monday by being the first company with a $3 trillion valuation, it could not hold that mark. According to CNET, around 10:45 a.m. on Monday, January the 3rd, Apple stock hit $182.86 per share, which when multiplied by the 16.4 billion shares outstanding, values Apple at about $3 trillion. 182.86 was the magic price. Apple hit that, Apple passed that, then shares retreated a tiny bit. That said, it was a record day all round. Mac Daily News says shares in the Cupertino company hit new intraday and closing highs on the first trading day of the year. They got as high as $182.88 before giving back almost a buck. Shares ended the day at $182.02, leaving Apple with a market value of $2.986 trillion. Seems to have been a hoppin' holiday season for AirPods. CNBC has a new guesstimate from TF International analyst Ming-Chi. According to Young MC, Apple sold 90 million pairs of AirPods during the December quarter. The way he sees it, sales last quarter will translate to 20% year-over-year revenue growth for Apple's wearable gadgets business, according to CNBC. The analyst says 27 million of the 90 million pairs of AirPods were the newest version of the entry-level earbuds, AirPods Series 3, introduced last fall. Outside of that, he did not break out sales of individual models. That gives him something in common with the Cupertino company. CNBC points out that Apple doesn't break out its wearables revenue, lumping them instead in its other products line item. That said, Apple's other products took in close to $13 billion in revenue in the December quarter of 2020, making that a number to watch. Get it? Wearables? Watch? Does the fun ever start? Bigger than sales of AirPods, literally and figuratively, are sales of iPhone. Mac Rumors has had a look at a note from Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives. He says Apple sold over 40 million phones from the iPhone 13 line last quarter. If those numbers hold, that would put sales in record territory, despite problems in the supply chain. That said, Ives thinks Apple could have sold more iPhones if it had had more iPhones to sell. Quoting his note, based on our supply chain checks over the last few weeks, we believe demand is outstripping supply for Apple by roughly 12 million units in the December quarter, which now will add to the tailwinds for Cupertino in the March and June quarters as the supply chain issues ease in the first half of 2022. Ives issued his note on Sunday, just hours before Apple's $3 trillion milestone. As he has for some time, he predicted Apple hitting that mark soon, thanks to both hardware and services. Apple 3.0 posted more of his note. Quoting that note again, the linchpin to Apple's valuation re-rating remains its services business, which we believe is worth $1.5 trillion in the eyes of the street, coupled by its flagship hardware ecosystem, which is in the midst of the strongest product cycle in over a decade, led by iPhone 13. Ives thinks Apple's services will pass $100 billion in annual revenue by 2024, according to his note. As for the 3T milestone, Ives argued hitting $3 trillion will be another watershed moment for Apple as the company continues to prove the doubters wrong, with the renaissance of growth story playing out in Cupertino. Ives has an outperform rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $200. Seeming to prove Wedbush analyst Daniel Ives right, Apple started the year pushing one of its services alongside a piece of hardware with which it is paired. 9to5 Mac says Apple on Monday turned over its landing page to a promotion for Fitness Plus and Apple Watch. When you access apple.com, says the piece, you'll watch a short video with Apple Fitness Plus trainers working out. Different from what customers are used to, there are no references about new iPhones, Apple Watch, AirPods, Mac, or even the holiday gifts. When the video is done is when you get Apple Watch. Apple posts the message, 11 workout types, everything from HIIT to yoga, new workouts and meditations every week, all powered by Apple Watch. I wonder what they're trying to say. Actually, the piece says the company says users can get up to 3 months of trial whether they buy a new Apple Watch. For Fitness Plus users, Apple also notified them about 25 new workouts available within the Fitness app for this new year. New year, same old issues for Apple in the App Store. Apple Insider ran a piece a couple of weeks back outlining changes demanded of the App Store in the Netherlands. According to the report, authorities in the country have been investigating Apple's app stores since 2019 on allegations that the company abuses its dominance in the marketplace. In a decision unsealed on Friday, the 24th of December, but made in October, Dutch regulators ruled that Apple's requirement that developers use its in-app payment system was anti-competitive. And now, Apple has to change it. A piece from 9to5Mac indicates that Apple will be required to let developers employ payment systems besides Apple's in their applications, provided their applications are dating apps. According to 9to5Mac, the demand seems to be focused on dating apps like Tinder for some reason. According to a statement from Dutch regulators, dating app providers are currently not able to choose freely a payment system for purchases made in their dating apps by consumers. If Apple does not adjust the unreasonable conditions within 2 months, it will have to pay a periodic penalty of 5 million euros per week, up to a maximum of 50 million euros. In this way, the regulator seeks to improve the situation for app providers regarding Apple's unreasonable conditions. The Apple Insider piece says Dutch authorities expect the changes to be made by the 15th of January. No word yet on Apple's plans. More news in a moment, but first a word from Upstart. Fair and fast personal loans. What would you do if you didn't have high-interest loans or credit card debt? With Upstart, you can pay off your existing debt quickly and easily and start doing that thing. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get a simple, fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Upstart looks at more than just your credit score, factoring in income and current employment. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/macOSKen. UPSTART, that's upstart.com/macOSKen. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Upstart.com/macOSKen. When will the world move beyond the current chip shortage? No time soon, according to a piece from the Wall Street Journal. While a lack of fabs is one issue, a bigger issue may be a lack of people to run them. 9to5Mac highlights the journal report. According to that, new chip manufacturing facilities known as fabrication plants, or fabs, require thousands of college-educated engineers to operate. Technicians oversee and manage the manufacturing process, while researchers help innovate new types of chips and ways of making them. The piece has the dean of the National Taiwan University's College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science saying, the talent shortage problem has become even more severe, mainly because of the increase in demand. They go on to say that they're not optimistic that we can totally resolve this problem. And it is a big problem. And it's growing. The piece says an August report from a recruiting platform estimated that the average monthly shortfall in semiconductor workers was about 27,700 employees, up 44% from the previous year. And that's before the fabs being built to catch up with demand even come online. Where are the future fab workers of the world? Probably looking to do something cooler. The piece indicates that it's hard to attract software engineers to chip making, as the role is very much a behind-the-scenes one, with no ability to point to a finished product in the way a consumer app developer can. According to the journal, Santosh Karanik, a professor at the Rochester Institute of Technology, said the number of students enrolled in the school's undergraduate electrical engineering program has dwindled steadily from about 50 in the mid-1980s to about 10 now. Some want to go make an app for Google or Facebook and others, she said. While competition is fierce for fab workers worldwide, Silicon Valley is still as cutthroat as ever. To keep peeps from jumping ship, Apple is said to be handing out stock. A piece last week from Mac Rumors had the Cupertino company giving some engineers as much as $180,000 in restricted stock, provided they stick around. Citing a Bloomberg report, the piece says select engineers in silicon design, hardware, software, and operations were informed that they would be receiving a $50,000 to $180,000 stock bonus, which Bloomberg says is unusual and significant. Quoting Bloomberg, the payouts aren't part of normal Apple compensation packages, which include a base salary, stock units, and a cash bonus. Apple sometimes awards additional cash bonuses to employees, but the size of the latest stock grants were atypical and surprisingly timed. They were given to about 10% to 20% of engineers in applicable divisions, which has to really please the 80% to 90% who got to read about it in Bloomberg. The awards are set to vest over the course of 4 years, according to the report, provided the employees stay with Apple and do not take jobs at other companies. And finally today, while thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Apple shares may be cool, can you wear that to the gym? Okay, I guess with thousands and thousands of dollars, you could buy stuff to wear to the gym, but that's not the point. Mac Rumors says Apple employees who have been part of the Apple Silicon transition have received a T-shirt commemorating the move. According to the piece, Andy Barretto, who works at Apple as a senior software engineer, tweeted an image of a special T-shirt with the M1 chip and its accompanying glow, alongside a card from Apple that reads, "Every so often something comes along that changes everything. Congratulations and thank you for helping make Apple M1 possible." I feel like that shirt should read, "My work changed the face of computing for decades to come, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." Or, "And all I got was this lousy T-shirt and $180,000 in restricted stock." That one is for select engineers. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Headspace. Meditation made simple. Get a free 1-month trial at headspace.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by Upstart, fair and fast personal loans. Learn more and check your rate at upstart.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.